Once you've made your LinkedIn profile, you'll next want to add your company page. And this is like a profile, except that you'll be writing about your business rather than about yourself personally. And this means you should write in a manner that sounds a little more detached and professional than you would do in your own personal profile. And you should also focus on value proposition, in other words, how people stand to gain from using your products or services, as well as on your mission statement and goals. A little SEO, search engine optimization through keywords, again can go a long way. To create a company page, come up to the top here where it says Interests and click on Companies, and then over here on the right hand side where it says Create a Company Page, click here on Create. And it takes you through to this page where you start to enter the information about the company. Now it talks you through it, you simply follow the on-screen instructions, so I won't go through it all again in this video because it's all fairly straightforward. One thing I will tell you though is that the company page has a summary field just like your profile, and this is where you're going to fill in most of this information. Now previously there was a products and services page, and this is no longer supported by LinkedIn. Instead, you can now create showcase pages, which is where you'll be able to create specific pages for your products and services. And this might include your digital marketing services, or it might include your website. And this has the distinct advantage of allowing you to market a specific aspect of your business. Now, for example, if you have multiple websites, you won't need to have multiple company pages. You can actually get direct sales from your LinkedIn page if it's good. So make sure that you give your visitors the direct links to where they can buy what you're selling. At the same time, you want to demonstrate the success that your products and services have enjoyed to show how capable your business is. So you want to talk about the number of sales, you want to talk about customer reviews, and so on. On your company page, you'll find that your branding is particularly important. You'll want to include a logo as your main profile image, for instance, instead of a picture of yourself, and you'll probably want to do the same for your cover picture. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is an excellent way to tie all your various products together and create a coherent visual style that's going to increase your apparent professionalism. And this is a very important tool for creating authority in your niche and for creating a cohesive experience for your visitors and customers. So, how do you go about creating your brand? Well, the first thing to do is to come up with a logo if you don't have one already. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here, but essentially this needs to be an image created with vector software to create a vector file instead of a raster file. The reason that these are so important is that they allow you to subsequently edit the image by selecting individual lines and moving them around the image. At the same time, they can be zoomed in and out of without sacrificing any image quality. Essentially, the difference is that vector files contain code that tell the computer how to draw particular shapes. On the other hand, raster files are simply large selections of pixels in particular positions. And the best software to use for creating your logo is Adobe Illustrator, which you can access from the Adobe website, which is adobe.com. And at the time that I'm making this video, there is a free trial offer. Then you have to pay for it as part of a subscription to the Adobe Creative Cloud. If you don't want to use that, there are some alternatives. There are some free alternatives as well, and if you do a search in Google for Adobe Illustrator alternative, you can find quite a lot listed. When coming up with a design for your logo, try to ensure that it's simple and that it's versatile. You should be able to change the color of the logo, to shrink it, to enlarge it, and to place it on various different backgrounds without sacrificing the quality or the visibility. And this is important because apart from anything else, you're likely going to be needing to have this as a square format for your company page and your profile page, and as a cover image in a horizontal or rectangular size. So do spend some time and effort on this aspect of your business before you invest too much time on LinkedIn, as it will act as a force multiplier and help you to benefit more from all of your subsequent work. In fact, if you aren't particularly confident in your own abilities when it comes to branding and design, you should think about hiring someone who you know and trust to do a good job. In fact, why not try using LinkedIn to find a professional designer? You should also consider making yourself a prominent part of your own branding. And this is a great strategy for bloggers in particular, and there are many prominent examples of this working well. And some good examples of this in action are Tim Ferriss of the 4-Hour Workweek, which is 4hourworkweek.com/blog. Then you've got Pat Flynn of Smart Passive Income, which is smartpassiveincome.com. And then you've got Dave Asprey of the Bulletproof Exec, which you can find here at bulletproofexec.com. Okay, in the next video I'll talk you through how you go about expanding and utilizing your personal network.